All right, so I'm here with the project architect, Brantley Hightower. Brantley, tell me a little bit about your background as the architect and how you came to become an architect.
Sure. So I remember in second grade when everyone came to school, it's what they wanted to be when they grew up. Some people came as astronauts or ballerinas. I borrowed my dad's briefcase and came as an architect. So it's kind of something I've always wanted to do. So for better or worse, pretty linear path of getting here. Actually, literally here to Austin. I did my undergrad here at UT. I live and work in San Antonio now, but it's good to have an excuse to come back and be a part of the building of Austin.
If someone was interested in becoming an architect, what kind of skills should they have, or what advice would you give to them?
You know, I know people always think, oh man, I need a lot of math skills, or I need to be an artist, and you know, while those things are helpful, I see architecture as being more about problem solving. And in that sense, very similar to contracting, in that you have limited resources and you have to pool what resources you have to create something that is the best product, the best sort of design for your client. So, even though I will be doing this architecture thing for some time, when my wife and I sat down to plan our wedding, my wife's an architect as well, we found we were really good at executing complex problems like wedding planning. So the training that you get as an architect, I think, are applicable to a very wide range of activities beyond just sort of the design of buildings.
Did you get all your architecture training in college, or was there anything you did in high school?
I took some, this was back in the early 90s where you still had sort of drafting classes in school, so I had taken some of those. An architecture curriculum does not presuppose that background. It's helpful to be observant of your built environment, to sort of notice how buildings come to be built. And so, while I had an interest coming into college, everything sort of I needed was provided there. Now, one thing I will say, and from an architect standpoint, one of the pieces of advice you're often given is that it's super important to get a summer job working on a job site. I really think that's true, to sort of understand that every line that's drawn has some impact when the thing actually has to get built. I think the opposite might be true too. That as a contractor, as someone who builds buildings, to understand a little bit how the design of a building occurs and sort of the thought that goes into that. And in theory, everything should be sort of a sort of cumulative community effort, because we're all trying to do the same thing.
So you mentioned you like problem solving. What other aspects of architecture keep you going every day? Like what's the payoff for you? Is it seeing the finished product, or just the process, or a combination?
Yeah, for me, it's cool to draw something and then, several years later, several months later, it becomes this thing in the world. That's incredibly exciting. But what I've found since I've been on my own to be one of the more fulfilling things is to sort of see the experience of a client. With a residential client, oftentimes it's going to be the only time in their lives that they hire someone to design something specifically for them. And as exciting as it may be for me as a designer to draw something and have it become a reality, it's even more exciting for an owner, for a client, to have this dream of this thing that they want in the world, and have this team of people come together to help create that real building, that real house, that real office building. So sort of seeing a design used in the way that it was designed to be, sort of to see this kind of vision that you had become a useful part of the world is incredibly fulfilling.
Cool. Anything else you want to add?
No, it's been, every relationship is different, and I have had some. Every relationship you have, whether with people or between an architect and a contractor, is a little bit different. This has been a great experience so far, and hopefully the relationship between an architect and a contractor is one of collaboration, where we're all working together to meet the same end. And that's been the case here, where there's an issue, I get a phone call, we work through it, we solve it, and we move on. So definitely hope to have the opportunity to work with these guys again.
Great. Thanks so much.
Okie dokie.